The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Hello and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. It's Tuesday, the 13th day of August, which means you should be in the middle of ticking things off your back-to-school checklist. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Coming up in today's show, highlights of the launch of the Youth Summer Employment Program, dedicated to providing young Jamaicans with valuable work experience. We'll have that and more. But first, let's take our daily news right after this break.
On our roads, remember, take time, be courteous, drive good, walk good. Part of keeping our roads safe is ensuring the vehicles we drive are mechanically safe, meeting all roadworthy requirements. And besides that, we must be good drivers and avoid risk-taking and sensation-seeking behaviors which are prone to causing road crashes.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, August 13, 2024. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has directed the security forces to launch an all-out assault on all gangs operating in the country. The Prime Minister says this is the standard mode of operation going forward for the police and the army. The decision was made at a meeting with the National Security Council on Monday following the deadly attack on a birthday party in Cherry Tree Lane, Clarendon, Sunday night. 8 persons were killed, including an 8-year-old child, and 9 others were injured, including 2 children.
There is no way that 8 persons can be killed in one incident in Jamaica and the state stands as if nothing happened. No. Every gang member, every gang will feel the full force of the state today. This must never happen again in Jamaica.
Mr. Holness was speaking at an emergency press conference on Monday where he described the incident as a terror attack. He pointed out that in the past 2 years, the number of active gangs had reduced from 380 to 185, and now there is a pivoting by gangs to regroup. But the Prime Minister asserts that the security forces will intensify their operational intelligence and strategic stance to further erode and eliminate gangs from the society.
We have played with gangs for far too long. We have treated them as if they were Robin Hoods. Communities have been too sympathetic to them. Communities have given them succor and protection. We must use this as the opportunity to draw the line finally in the sand and to separate the gangs from our communities.
Meanwhile, the government is pursuing cooperation with the United States Department of Justice to ensure persons living in that country who are connected to Sunday's killing spree are brought to justice. Based on police intelligence, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has indicated that persons living overseas are involved in the fatal shooting incident. Without saying too much, Mr. Holness reveals that last year, a list with 31 names of persons of interest were given to the U.S. authorities.
When we visited the Department of Justice, we met with several entities in law enforcement in the United States, and our cooperation continues with them, which is why I've said that in this particular instance, where we know that there are connections overseas, we will be pursuing it, given the channels that we have opened.
It was also reported that persons in prison are also believed to be connected to the incident. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says a number of interventions have been made to limit these kinds of interactions, including amending legislation in 2021 to institute severe penalties for the breach of contraband entering correctional facilities. In addition, he says a contract has been signed for closed-circuit cameras to be installed in correctional facilities and to build out the intelligence system.
Work is proceeding. We have a new Director of Corrections who has extensive experience in the security area, and they're working with the entire Corrections Service to, in fact, strengthen our intelligence product from the area, as well as, and apply the law as required.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness and a team toured Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon yesterday to see firsthand the site of the deadly attack and meet with victims. Mr. Holness asserted that all resources of the state would be given to the security forces to apprehend the players of organized armed violence.
Whether it is the financing, whether it is the international cooperation, whether it is the legislative support, will be made available to the security forces to pursue this relentlessly. They must either meet a judge or meet their maker, whichever they choose. But Jamaica cannot countenance this kind of crime.
At the time of his visit, the police reported that 4 persons were in custody and 1 firearm had been seized during its operations in the parish. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey says several strategies are being used by the Joint Security Forces and a significant deployment of officers has been made to the affected areas and other communities.
And the objective for the deployment in this community is to provide that assurance or that reassurance, as well as to ensure that the citizen can go about freely and to provide that protection for the community.
A 4-day curfew is currently in place for central and southern Clarendon, as well as St. Catherine North and South. Sunday's brutal gun attack in Clarendon has also sparked response from the Ministry of Education and Youth, which has committed to providing counseling and support services to the families and broader community. Portfolio Minister Favour Williams expresses particular grief at the death of a student of the Four Paths Primary and Infant School and the hospitalization of a 1-year-old child who remains in critical condition. In condemning the attack, Minister Williams describes the incident as a harrowing reminder of previous such tragedies. She's calling for urgent and collective action to address the pervasive violence in Clarendon and enhanced measures to ensure the safety and security of residents, including children. In the interim, she says the ministry remains committed to fostering a safe and nurturing environment for all students and will continue to work closely with law enforcement and community leaders to protect the well-being of our children. And finally, health professionals or individuals seeking to undertake specialized medical studies can apply for scholarships through the Mexican Agency of International Cooperation for Development, AMEXID. Mexico's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has officially opened applications for the 2024 AMEXID Medical Specialization Scholarship, which spans 2 to 3 years. The opportunity is open to individuals who are currently studying in Mexico or planning to further their education in specialized medical fields within the country. In a recent bulletin, the Ministry of Education and Youth encouraged eligible Jamaican candidates to take advantage of this opportunity to advance their medical careers and contribute to the global healthcare community. The application window closes on Friday, August 23 at 11:59 p.m. Mexico time, which is 12:59 a.m. in Jamaica on Saturday, August 24. Successful applicants will be notified of their status between September 17 and 20, 2024. Applications must be submitted online through the Academic Cooperation Management System at sigca.sre.gov.mx/login. For further information, contact the Acting Assistant Director of the Bilateral Relations Department at Jamaica's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade at 876-676-4028-30, extension 30705. Interested candidates can also email corey.white@mfaft.gov.jm. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
It's that time again when we review some of the important decisions taken at the office of the Prime Minister in the past week. Take a look.
As the country celebrated 62 years of independence last week, Prime Minister Andrew Holness reiterated that his administration over the past 10 years had built a governance system that was more robust, self-reliant and strategic.
In fact, that is what it means to be independent. The ability to withstand shocks and deal with crises without having to rely or be dependent on the resources of others or be indebted to others. At 62, Jamaica must be able to stand on its own 2 feet and face the challenges and uncertainties of this era of globalized world affairs and changing climate.
Mr. Holness was delivering his Independence Day message to the nation. He put forward that while his administration had been able to solve the problem of disrupted long-term capital investments in public goods, the next challenge was to address productivity and peace.
Productivity and peace are necessary to increase growth and reduce the cost of living. These issues are fundamental to our nation and sustainability.
Over at the National Stadium, Mr. Holness participated in the symbolic flag-raising ceremony during the Grand Gala celebrations. He also presented Reggae Icon Awards to Patricia Chin, co-founder of VP Records, and Reggae Ambassador band Third World for their contribution to reggae music. Reggae Icon Awards were also presented to Moses Beanie Man Davis and Rodney Bounty Killer Price. Also on Independence Day, Prime Minister Holness encouraged farmers to embrace the nature of resilience as they rebuild from losses incurred due to the passage of Hurricane Beryl. He was speaking at the Denby Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show.
Life is filled with unknown quantities. And they are going to happen and they are going to create problems for us. But those crises that are created also bring opportunities to change the way how we were doing things before.
During the event, Mr. Holness announced that a national plan to build resilience in the agriculture sector was being developed. He indicated that this should be ready by April 2025.
To increase our processing capabilities for food, to increase our storage capabilities for food, to increase the financing available to small and medium-sized and large farmers, because we must start to treat agriculture as a business and not only as a passion.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness delivered grants to the first batch of beneficiaries whose houses were fully destroyed by Hurricane Beryl. He was at the launch of the Rebuild Jamaica initiative. Mr. Holness urged the individuals to use the fund for its intended purpose and reiterated accountability by the government.
It is very important that any relief that we are going to give is not in any way tainted by any form of corruption. Whether it be that the beneficiary tries to convert the benefit for a use other than for what the grant was given, then you didn't really need the benefit. Somebody else could have gotten that benefit.
The government has allocated $1 billion to assist impacted householders. Persons whose houses were destroyed will receive a grant of up to $400,000. Those whose homes were severely damaged will get up to $150,000, and individuals who experienced minor damage are being granted $50,000.
Today I am more than hopeful. The promise is a relief. I received first $200,000 to start to rebuild my home, rebuild my family, and help my family to rebuild our dreams.
The performance of our athletes at the Olympics in France was recognized by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. On his social media pages, he posted special congratulations to Rajendra, Shanika, Wayne, Kishane, Rajay, and Rashid, who medaled at the Games. And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness bid farewell to EU Ambassador to Jamaica, Her Excellency Marianne Van Steen. Ambassador Van Steen was appointed in 2020 and has been pivotal in enhancing diplomatic and economic ties between Jamaica and the EU. She also fostered cooperation and advanced development projects in human rights, gender affairs, health, education, citizen security, and more.
We have benefited significantly from the support of the European Union in many critical areas, in areas that sometimes the public may not readily see and appreciate. But please know that the government appreciates and understands the cooperation and the effort.
And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
We told you at the top. Now it's time to see what's on the agenda for this year's Youth Summer Employment Program.
Started this program in 2016-2017. We started with 1,600 participants. And every year we improve the numbers of persons involved in the YSEP program. This year, we took a bold decision. And for the first time, the YSEP program will be catering for 10,000 young people right across Jamaica. This is our first. The success of the program is there to be seen. More than 500 participants over the years have found gainful employment through various municipal corporations across the country. I want to urge you to treat this program in the same way that you treat your future. You are building on a foundation that has been created by a government led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who has placed great emphasis on building, providing the kind of leadership for young people across the country. I urge you to make us proud of you this year.
Ready! 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 There is so many times when never
I feel very proud to share my experience with the Youth Summer Employment Program, YSEP. This program has really been a turning point in my life, and I know it can do the same for you. I learned important people skills that I had never been taught at school. Because of YSEP, I came out of my shell, communicated more, and became far more confident.
So as youngsters going into summer employment,
I want you to take this bit of advice. Whatever you are tasked to do it to the best of your ability, do it well. And that will become the stepping stone for you to achieve the things that you actually want to do in life. The ethic of work is something that the younger generation, you coming up, must absorb, internalize, and make it become a part of who you are. So we are doing a fantastic job in ensuring that you get the work experience that will eventually form the basis on which you will become permanent members of the Jamaica labor force.
Youths, this is your time to shine. Rise to the occasion, because this is a chance for you to step up and show the world what you are made of. By participating in this program, you are not only investing in your personal growth, but also contributing to the strength and prosperity of our nation.
To you, my colleagues, I say learn everything you can, support each other, and enjoy the Youth Summer Employment Program. I can promise you that you will never forget this experience. Big up YSEP, thank you.
Educators, listen up. Do you need help learning how to save, budget, manage your debt, investing? Does it feel like the little you have can go so far and no more? The Ministry of Education and Youth is partnering with Profit Jumpstarter, a boutique investment education organization, and the Jamaica Teaching Council to guide you or educators on a course towards financial literacy. Look out for a series of workshops in the coming months to help you get on the path to financial freedom, because understanding money is essential for growing it. Each one teaches one, right? Let us continue to make Jamaica the preferred place to live, work, raise families, and do business.
As we anticipate the reopening of school, Kezia Carr, CEO of the National Parenting Support Commission, NPSC, is reminding us of some key things that must be in the backpack of children, especially for preschoolers.
For infant schools, we're recommending a dark-colored bag, because we want to reduce the number of times we're washing the bags. And children play a lot, bags get dirty. We also want to ensure that in the bag, there is a water bottle. Water is important because as children play, they get dehydrated, and this will actually affect how comfortable they are. So we want to ensure that there's water in the bag so that they're sipping throughout the day. Now, especially for preschoolers, as they're entering schools for the first time, we know that there is separation anxiety. One of the things that we recommend is a toy. It helps them to be just a little more comfortable with that transition to school. Another thing that we want to place in the bag is a blanket. Children need sleep time, and so the blanket, a nice clean blanket, is good to add to the bag. Another thing that we recommend is a pencil case. We want a pencil case that is durable and one that can secure the pencils. Of course, you can't have a school bag without notebooks. One of the things we recommend is lighter notebooks for the children who are smaller, because we do not want the bag to become too heavy. In the notebook, it's also advisable that you put an emergency contact number. What would be recommended also is a change of uniform, so that if they get dirty, they can change off. A clean rag is also recommended to dry their hands and also perhaps to wipe their faces. As times get hot, they become sweaty, we need a fresh rag. For children who are transitioning to primary or high school, you will notice that we have a bigger bag. So let's look at what should go in the bag. First of all, there is a smart device that we're recommending. Of course, you're going to refer to your school's policies regarding cell phones or other smart devices. But as we prepare our children for 21st century learning, if it is that the policy supports this, then we recommend that you ensure that there is a smart device so that the children can be using these to support their learning as dictated by their teachers. We also recommend hand sanitizer. In some situations, a teacher might want to keep the hand sanitizer for the student, and so you refer depending on the teacher or the school. Of course, we are also purporting hydration. We have to ensure that children remain hydrated. When children get hot, they become uncomfortable, and this affects teaching and learning. And of course, as a partner of the Jamaica Moves campaign, we're also suggesting water as opposed to other sugary drinks. Toiletry is very important. So we have a Ziploc bag here, and we have toilet paper and a piece of paper towel. And there is also wipes. Let's go to the inside of the bag. What's in here? We continue to ensure our children are equipped with the writing implements, but for security purposes, we suggest that you give them a case to house the paper, scissors, the pens and pencils. There are also exercise books. Now, these exercise books are a little heavier because, as you know, primary school and high school require more note-taking. So these are a little heavier. One of the things we must also have is a planner, because homework is very important. So we recommend that you write down the homework so that you can ensure that those are submitted on the due dates. Of course, you must have the textbooks. Now, textbooks can be many, and they too can be heavy. So depending on what homework is assigned, you might want to work with a class teacher to also store some of these textbooks. So only the ones that will support homework will make it home. And you know, weather is also unpredictable. So we recommend an umbrella, a lightweight umbrella, or a rain cloak if you have it. We don't want our children getting ill because this will affect their attendance to school and ultimately affect learning. And that is it for what goes in the bag. We wish you a successful year. All the best.
And that's it for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Remember, if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way. Do join us again tomorrow for another informative show. Remember to visit our website, gis.gov.jm, for more news you can use. On behalf of the entire team at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do stay safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.